Hey everybody, welcome back to Boat Fool Sailing. So listen, thanks for tuning in last week. Thanks for tuning in this week. I really appreciate it. I just got back from 4 days of cruising along the coast of Maine. The weather finally broke. We had sun, fun, laughter, and amazing sailing and extraordinary scenery. And so I'm more excited than ever to find the right boat for you. So this week we are traveling to the great state of New York. Why? I went to college up in Saratoga Springs, New York, and I spent the formative career days of my life down in Manhattan. So I love New York. Not only that, New York has a lot of sailing, not only the Finger Lakes, but you have the Great Lakes and the ocean, and you have some great deals, tons of boats for sale. So this week we're looking at the top 10 currently for sale in the great state of New York for less than $30,000, and there's some smoking deals. So we're gonna fly through these like a cabbie chasing greens down Lexington Avenue. Let's go have some fun. All right, ladies and gents, here we go. Coming at number 10 this week is a 1984 Newport 27, list price of $5,500, located in Sackett's Harbor, New York, which is up on Lake Ontario. So she's a lake boat, and she's a FSBO, posted about a month ago. Now, why this boat? A, I think it's stinking cool. B, the price point is sweet. And 3, Amiga is a great name. But in all seriousness, this is a nice little ride. And for that price point, you can't go wrong. There's be a great racer, great coastal cruiser, great overnighter, and even extended sailing. She's got all the accoutrements. You've got lazy jacks. You've got a nice awning bimini to cover your cockpit. And it's pretty low maintenance. It does not come with a dog, so don't ask. And you know, not a lot of maintenance because you only have a little bit of wood or teak underneath your primary winches and some trim here. Here is a hallmark tell that this is a CNC design, which she is, which is this awesome hump for when you're steering, and you've got a transom hung ladder, and you've got a Magna Grill wheel steering. What more do you want? Also, 6-foot standing headroom down below. All your lines are led aft, and they're your lazy jacks. And the down below looks neat, serviceable, and clean. Again, a hallmark of good seamanship. I love this little boat. You've got an updated toilet in your head, and you've got pressurized water, you've got refrigeration, you've got a microwave, stove, and a sink that's nearly centerline and not in your companionway, which is really fantastic. So, a low maintenance boat, a fully stocked bar, and a boat that can do just about anything. And at that price point, honestly, it's really a cool classic throwback 80s boat, 80s design, fin kill, spade runner, CNC design. I love this boat. Check it out, 5,500. Let's look at the sailboat data real quick on this. There are your designs and your, sailboat calculation, sail area displacement of over 17. She's going to be pretty quick in light air. Comfort ratio of almost 22, so a little bit bumpier and bigger seas, but you're on a lake, so you're going to have a different sea state up there, but that's not minimizing it because I know that it can get nasty up there. So this could be a bumpy ride. Capsizing screening of under 2, which is fantastic, and a speed factor of over 2. So you could definitely race this, definitely have some fun. She's a moderate displacement boat, and a nice safe ride, and you can have a lot of fun with it. Okay, let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is a 1980 Niagara 35. List price of $29,950, located in West Haverstraw, New York. That's up on the Hudson, and she's offered by Brewered Yacht Sales, so she is broker represented, and she had a major refit from 2007 through 2009, including all grip painted hull, Harkin self-tailing primaries, Harkin furler, and Harkin Traveler, just to mention a few. And she is a diesel engine on this. She's 35 feet. Let's whip through the pictures. I love the shear line on this boat, and she has a roller furling main that goes in the boom, which I much prefer, in my opinion, over in the mast. And just a nice looking boat. Classic lines, nice shear. I think you might have a windlass on this, but I'm not sure. We'll have to get through the picture. There are your new primaries, and your traveler system's hidden by your Dodger stuff there. You got wheel steering, you got newer electronics, all Raymarine, and just a nice looking ride. There's a lot of pictures, so we got to whip through these as quickly as we can. There's your roller furling and the boom. You got a nice hydraulic boom vang there, wet locker, nav station, quarter berth. And I don't know what's happening on your ceiling here, but it looks like they removed some of it to put in what must be the windlass, but that doesn't seem like the right location. So maybe one of the winches. But the head looks nice, galley looks clean, and you've got a stove for some heat for those cool summer nights and the shoulder seasons. The sole floor looks to be in decent shape, if not good shape, and the cushions all look serviceable. your sails, there are your electronics, there's your ice box, and it looks like it must be a Yanmar, and just the hull looks to be in great shape. Oh, it is a windlass on here. That's fantastic. That's a nice looking new windlass. And there's your V-berth, and she's from Connecticut originally. It is a Yanmar. And just a nice looking boat. Let's look at the sailboat data on this. And there's a ton of stuff to go on here and look at if you so choose. It talks about all your electronics and all the updates that were done to it. There's too many to go through, so we're just going to keep moving on and check out the sailboat data. So her sail area displacement is just under 17. Her comfort ratio is near 30, so she's a heavy displacement boat. She's going to be a fairly comfortable ride. Capsizing screening under 2, speed factor of under 2, so maybe not the quickest, but she's going to be comfortable. And in fact, I think she's the third most comfortable boat on our list today. I love this boat. Great shear lines, great look. Again, she is $29,950, just under $30,000, and she's up on the Hudson. Take a look at this one. I love it. All right. Let's move on. Coming in at number 8. I had to do it because I love these boats. A nice looking, nice example of the Cape Dory 25. She's reported to be in excellent condition. She's in Buffalo, so she's on Lake Erie, and she's a lake boat, and she's really, really nice looking. Obviously, the bottom hasn't yet been painted in this picture, but the top sides look great. All the woodwork and brightwork looks very nice. The spar looks nice, and look, the transom doesn't even have a name on it, so it's ready for you to name it. But the down below also looks clean and tidy, and this would be a great weekender for you and a partner or a buddy or whatever, a small family. You could really, it's got a nice full batten mainsail. You can basically go anywhere in this. She's got a full keel and just a lovely example of the Cape Dory 25. Let's see. She's got 2 head sails, a chute, and a whisker pull. All exterior teak has been stripped, ready for teak oil or whatever you want to do, varnish. 2 mainsails. Newer is fully battened, includes a cradle, winter cover, and custom frame. This boat is sweet. And I want to just quickly look at the sailboat data because this will give you some good insight to how she's going to sail. Sail area displacement of under 17, so moderate. She's heavy displacement, comfort ratio of nearly 24, so she's going to be a fairly nice ride, and a capsizing screening of under 2 and a speed factor of just under 1.5. So a decent ride. This is a Carl Ahlberg design, obviously. She's a Cape Dory, and just a really pretty boat. And I love the Cape Dories, and I love this one. It's a great example. So if you're up on the lakes here and you're looking for a nice Cape Dory and getting into sailing, this would be a great example and a great one to go take a look at. All right, moving on to number 7 is a 1986 Pearson 30-3. List price of $27,000, located in Mayfield, New York, which is on the Great Sacandaga Lake. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm not familiar with it. But she came from Lake Champlain, so she's been a freshwater boat. And this is a really nice example of the Pearson 30-3. And she is a FSBO, and she is neat as a pin. The teak could use some love unless you want to keep it bare like that, but the sole floor looks nice. The cushions look great. The galley looks clean. She's called the Red, White, and Blue. That might be her name. But everything about this boat looks turnkey to me. I'm not crazy about the Red, White, and Blue Genoa, but that's not unfixable. And you've got a nice Dodger Bimini combo here, so you can tuck in and out of the rain there, and it's just super, super clean. And these Pearsons are fast boats, and they're fun boats. And this one has been on the market just for about 10 days by the time you see this. It's got a 2-cylinder Yanmar diesel, and she has a cabin which has 6 feet 3 inches of headroom and a beam of just under 11. So I've been on a Pearson of this size, and they have a lot of room down below. In fact, it feels like it is the interior of a 35, 36 footer. So let's take a quick look at the sailboat data on this Pearson so you can see what I'm talking about. Sail area displacement of just under 16. So I don't really feel that's accurate, to be honest with you. I know it is mathematically, but these boats are quick. She is a moderate to heavy displacement boat, comfort ratio of just over 24, so not bad. Capsizing screen of just over 2 and a speed factor of nearly 2. So you can race this thing, you can cruise it, and it just, the fact that this one is so clean, it looks like it's just ready to rock and roll. You've got a beautiful 150 Genoa that's on a roller furler that's in very good condition. 2 reefs on the mainsail with all lines and sheets leading back to the cockpit, and you've got wheel steering. So again, neat as a pin. This boat's got everything. You could buy this boat and be sailing tomorrow. I love it. She is number 7 this week. All right, let's keep moving. Coming in at number 6 this week is a 1987 Catalina 36-footer Mark I, list price of $29,500, located in Port Washington, New York, which is on Long Island Sound and Long Island. So you're on the ocean, and if you're down in the New York City area, this one might be for you. This is a really nice example of the Catalina 36, and the reason she's number 6 is because she's in really nice shape. And it looks like she's got some newer sails. The cockpit looks great. You've got some nice transom seating there, and you've got wheel steering. Looks like your electronics are a little bit older up top. You got nice primary self-tailing winches and a lot of photos, but the down below, it was the kicker. It looks very, very clean. The sole floor looks beautiful. The cushions look serviceable. You've got this nice little table here for dominoes or working on your laptop. You've got a nice dinette and big table that I'm sure collapses into a double berth. And you've got a quarter berth and a V berth and a nice looking head, a funky looking toilet seat, a nice nav station, and a nice looking galley with a double sink and near center line, by the way. And just it's got all the bells and whistles and an easy boat to sail and a great way to break in. And if you're interested in this boat, go look at all the details because there are a ton of them. And it is a universal 25 horsepower diesel, hours unknown, at least in this information. But let's look at the sailboat data. This boat, again, it was a little bit unclear which model this is. It says it's the 1987. However, that image does not jibe with what's on sailboat data. And the next version of this came out in 1988, and it also does not look like the picture. So it's a little bit confusing. So if someone wants to clarify this for me, that'd be great. What's interesting is this was first built in 1982, and there are nearly 1,800 of these made. So there is a good group out there for support. She is a moderate displacement, comfort ratio of nearly 24, so it's getting a little better. Sail area displacement of 15.5, and a capsizing screening of just over 2, and a speed factor of almost 2.4. So this is going to be a pretty fast boat, pretty responsive, fun boat to sail, and reasonably comfortable. So I think if you're breaking in or looking for a little bit bigger boat from what you may have had, this boat would be an excellent option for you. And the price, it is broker represented by Brewer Yacht Sales, so I don't know how much wiggle room there's going to be there, but it's worth taking a look at if you're interested in upgrading from a smaller boat, or maybe downsizing, or even a first boat. This would be a really simple rig to handle and sail single-handedly. Okay, get this. Coming at number 5 this week, a first time making our top 10 list, is a 1988 Beneteau First 3005 or 30-5 or 30 footer, whatever you want to call it. List price of $20,995, located in Willsboro, New York, which is up on Lake Champlain. So she is a freshwater boat. And this is and why this week and why a Beneteau? This one seems to be in really good shape. I've seen others over the months of doing this, but this one by far is the nicest looking of them all, and a great entry-level boat for someone looking to get into some racing and some coastal cruising or lake cruising. And I really, really like the look of this boat. I've never been crazy about the first being written on your top side. I've never been crazy about that. I wonder if you can get rid of it because otherwise it should look like a really sleek boat. But that's just my humble opinion. You got a nice little sugar scoop transom with a ladder, and you obviously have a setup for a bimini. And it's just, the bottom has been, I think, redone completely, if I'm remembering the notes correctly, but you got a double spreader on a 30-foot boat. This boat is tricked out for racing, but could definitely cruise. And she is a tiller. She's got a newer tiller, but the down below is spotless. And the ceiling is just, it's very unique to me. And I really sort of fell in love with the look of this boat. I love this sort of yellow peach color. It's very retro. But she is from 1988, which is a fabulous year. And just a nice looking boat. Very clean, very tidy. And let's see what information. There's a ton of information on this boat. But it should be noted that it's going to need some newer sails. You got the original 1988 Sobstad mainsail and some older Quantum, an older Quantum Genoa. But I think if you were looking for a very sort of fun, interesting boat to sail that's going to be really comfortable down below, I would take a close look at this one. Let's just look at the sailboat data real quick, because you're going to find that it's going to be a nice responsive boat and great for racing. It's got a Volvo diesel in it. The sail area displacement is just over 16. She's almost a she is a light displacement boat, and our comfort ratio is under 20. So she's really more of a racer than a blue water cruiser, but certainly capable of sailing on a lake and tearing up a race course. Capsizing screening of over 2 and an S factor of nearly 3. This is a fast boat, ladies and gentlemen, and great for lake sailing, great for ocean and coastal cruising. So don't get me wrong, you can take this boat just about anywhere. And I really love the look of this boat. Again, for that price point, which is just under $21,000. I think you could get yourself a slick boat here that would be a lot of fun and very comfortable to overnight on and have a small family on, and then also tear up a race course. She's number 5 this week. Okay, coming in at number 4 this week is a 1987 Erickson 32-200. The sailboat has many upgrades and has like new sails, including a 153%, 135%, and 125%, plus a spinnaker. And the mainsail is like new with a new cover. This is a really cool boat, and she comes with a custom winter cover in good condition. And all the rigging was replaced in 2012. And she has a spinnaker pole, self-tailing Lumar 46 jib winches. That's what I have. She's got an upgraded Traveler, a 6-to-1 Traveler, new GPS and VHF, radio, marine, stereo, etc. She's been a good racer and great in club racing. And these Ericksons are fun, fast boats. I love these Ericksons. I've really, ever since I profiled the Erickson 28 Plus, I've really sort of fallen in love with these boats because the down belows are very spacious and very nice. And this one's no exception. The head looks great. And there's your sort of nav station area. The decks look great, nice, clean walking area here. Not a lot of stuff to trip on. And the coach roof all looks good. All your running rigging looks great. Your spars look great, and the hull looks great. I love this boat. It's very clean. It's got a universal 25 horsepower diesel, and she's got 2 props, both in excellent condition. She's got a max feathering and a 3-bladed prop. Pretty cool, guys and girls. So you've got all that you need to race and or cruise. Let's look at the sailboat data. Oh, by the way, she's $25,000. She was listed about 7 days ago, so it'll be about 10 by the time you see this. And she is in West Islip, New York, which is on Long Island on the ocean. So the sailboat data. This boat is going to be fast. You've got a sail area displacement of nearly 17.5. She's a moderate displacement, comfort ratio of 23, so more of a racer than a cruiser. Capsizing screening of over 2, and an S factor of almost 2.2. Fast boat, fun boat, a great boat for a small family. And she is 32 feet long, so you can definitely coastal cruise this. You could overnight on this. You could go anywhere on this, more or less, and bring it up to Maine to see me for all I care. It'd be fun. These are cool boats. I love it. She's in nice shape. She is number 4 this week at $25,000, Erickson 32, and she was built in 1987. All right, let's keep whipping. Coming in at number 3 this week is a 1985 President Nassau 34-foot cutter canoe stern. List price of $22,900, located in Olcott, New York. That's up on Lake Ontario, so she's been a lake boat at least recently. Now listen, the President means she was built by President Marine in Thailand, and only 60 of these were made. So she's unusual, which is why she's in our top 10 this week. And I happen to really like the looks of this boat. It looks comfortable, it looks safe, and it looks solidly built. My one knock is what you're about to see, the teak decks, but they look to be in good shape. but honestly, you would need a really good surveyor to really determine whether or not there are any issues with this. But if you like this look and you're up for the maintenance, this is a cool looking boat. And she does need a little maintenance. Her bright work looks a little shabby, so she needs a little work. But by and large, this boat is pretty slick. Here's your canoe stern, nice high cockpit combing, and nice primary winches back here. And let's keep trucking along. So there are your teak decks, and we're going to get down below. But they do look nice. Here's your helm station and your cool companionway doors. You've got a nice dodger and a fly that comes over to act as shade, like a bimini when you're at anchor, and just some cool architectural accents on this. Here's your bowsprit, and you've got a windlass. And let's keep going. I want to get to the interior because the interior is what sold me. Here's your canoe stern. That's really kind of cool looking. I really like the looks of that. You got lazy jacks and you got the cutter rig configuration. Your cushions all look serviceable and nice. The down below looks clean and tidy. A mark of good seamanship. And you got the double galley sink there, center line. There's your V-berth. There's your head. And here's your galley area, which is a nice area you can tuck yourself into, your gimbaled stove. And you've got a Yanmar diesel on this and a whole list of things that you can go check out. But a really slick boat. And here's your quarter berth and nav station. So if you're interested in a coastal and blue water cruiser, this boat would be for you. Let's look at the sailboat data. Here's your schematics. There's your full keel, a little bit cut away there, but a nice looking sheer on this too, actually. I really love that look. You've got the Yanmar diesel. You've got a sail area displacement of over 16. You've got a displacement the length of nearly 275. So she's basically a heavy, moderate to heavy displacement boat and a comfort ratio of almost 31. So she's going to be a comfortable ride and capsizing screening of under 2. They do not have an S factor on this, but she's going to be faster the heavier the wind gets. All right. She is number 3 this week. I love it. A Nassau 34, 22.9. And located in upstate New York on Lake Ontario. All right, let's move on. Number 2 this week is a Hughes 38 located in Clarence, New York. List price of $23,900, posted about 16 days ago. It's a FSBO, so about 20 days by the time you see this. And Clarence, New York is just east of Buffalo, so you're up on Lake Erie. I don't know a lot about these Hughes boats. In fact, I think there are 4 models of this, a 38, a 38.1, a 38.2, and a 38.3. And based on the keel configuration design, I'm going with the 38.3 on this, but someone may know more than me about this, and I would love to know. In fact, I think Lady K Sailing has a Hughes, I don't think it's a 38, it might be smaller. But anyway, the top sides look great. The bottom all looks nice. And based on that keel configuration, I went with this one, which is the 38-3. But anyway, let's get back to these pictures. A slick looking boat, 38 feet, only just over 10 feet wide, so she's narrow. But I bet she's reasonably fast, and I bet she's reasonably comfortable. You got nice Dodger Bimini primary winches, and wheel steering, and a windlass, and auto helm, it looks like. And that is a Volvo diesel, which is a nice feature to have. They're solid engines. Let's keep going. The down below looks great. I did notice some discoloration on the sole floor around here. It looks like there is some water damage. At some point, a good surveyor will be able to tell you what happened, or the seller would be able to inform you. You've got a stove on here for those cool summer nights. I don't know if it comes with a guitar. Don't ask. The whole thing looks neat and tidy. And there's your head, which looks big. And there's your stove and your galley, but just kind of a classic looking boat. It reminds me a little bit of my Morgan and a Ted Brewer design of sorts, but it is a Sparkman and Stevens design, in fact. But it's got a Volvo Penta 23 horsepower, and it was all gripped in 2003. There's a bunch of stuff here you can go through, but let's get to the sailboat data because we're running out of time. Oh, engine hours of only 1,100 on that Volvo, so that thing's got a lot of love left to give. So looking at the sailboat data, if this is in fact the 38.3, you got a beam of just about 10.2, length along water of 27, length overall of 37. So you got about a 10-foot overhang. So, that's not atypical for a boat of this age. And it is a Sparkman and Stevens design and a draft of just under 6 feet. It says Atomic 4 gas engine. That is not the case on the subject boat. She is diesel and it's a Volvo. Okay, sail area displacement of just under 16. She is a heavy displacement boat of displacement the length of 330 nearly, and a comfort ratio of nearly 34. This is going to be a very comfortable boat. A capsize screening of under 2 and an S factor, speed factor of 1.46. So the heavier the wind, the faster this boat's going to go. And she is a slick looking ride. And I would love to know more about these Hughes boats. So if anybody has any good intel, please write in a comment or send me an email. I'd love to know more. Okay. All right, drum roll. Coming in at number 1 this week, and it might be controversial, but hear me out, is a 1980 Tartan 33, list price of $18,000, located in Plattsburgh, New York. That's up on Lake Champlain, so she's been a lake boat for a while anyway. And this boat sort of has it all, and the reason she's number 1 for me this week is not only the price point, but the quality and condition of this boat. And I just think if you're looking to break into sailing, this would be an amazing starter boat. And let's look at the numbers. And well, actually, let's look at the pictures first because she's really kind of great. She's a fractional rig and she's fast. She's got a windlass for a 33-foot boat. That's kind of nice. You've got all the bells and whistles on this, including radar and sail cover lazy jacks and roller furling. And nice, clean, wide decks for walking. Your shrouds are in near your coach roof, so you can easily get around those. And she looks to be in really great shape. You've got a transom hung ladder, which is fantastic for boarding, especially if someone goes overboard. That helps to get someone out. You got a split backstay, which is fantastic when you're sitting at the helm station. This thing is not knocking you in the coconut. And you've got wheel steering, and you've got your traveler right in front of the helm. So if you're going to be single-handing, this is great. You've got ship-to-shore power here, nice high coamings in your cockpit, and a nice safe cockpit. And it's just a cool looking boat. This boat looks a little bit like the Tartan 10s, and those are fast. And this, I believe, is no exception. So let's get through these pictures because there's 42 of them. But there's your windlass. Nice clean decks. Everything looks to be in great shape. The down below looks clean, tidy, and well maintained. Nice wood accents. I love the coach roof here, and all your port openings look clean. I don't see any drip marks. Here's your radar. Here's your companionway. Engine access will be behind all that. Here's your sink, which is just off center line and not in your companionway. And there's your quarter berth tucked back in there. It looks a little tight, but she is only 33 feet, but really sort of an ideal size, not only for lake sailing, but for breaking into sailing. And those cushions look thick and comfortable, and lots of storage on here. You got some speakers, and looking aft here, and the sole floor looks to be in good shape. There is nothing not to like about this boat. Your folding dinette table. Here's your V-berth with new mattresses in there. And those look comfortable. And you got a hatch up there which gives you some ventilation in your head, and the head looks nice and clean. Again, nothing not to like about this boat. These boats are solidly built, and I love them. And this boat has a shield keel and refrigeration. So back to the shield keel, invented by Henry Shield, and patented back in 1968. And Henry Shield's from Rockport, Maine. And when I was a kid in the sailing program here at the Camden Yacht Club, Henry Shield came to talk about his keel. And these keels were sort of the beginnings of the bulb and wing keel. And it really concentrated the weight low at the base of the keel. And it was good for speed and stability. And here's your diesel engine, which looks to be in good shape. I believe it's a Universal. And yep, it's a Universal. And again, these ports, no drip marks underneath, which means a conscientious sailor that closed these ports when it rained. And you got some screens there for your hatches. But anyway, Henry Shield was a great and prolific designer, and I actually heard him speak. It was really cool. And the other great thing about this boat is there's a recent survey available. So all the rigging is run aft to the wheel and cockpit. So this boat is set up for single-handed sailing, and I think you'd have a blast on it. So quickly, let's look at the sailboat data. Sparkman and Stevens design, Tartan Marine, 201 of these were built, and you got a sail area displacement of over 18. She's going to be quick and light air. And she has a light displacement boat of under 200 displacement to length. She's got a comfort ratio of 21, so not the most comfortable ride, but she's going to be absolutely suitable for lake sailing and coastal cruising. Capsizing screening of just over 2 and an S factor of over 3. Fast boat, fast fun. She is a beauty, well maintained, beautifully kept, and I would say if you're breaking into sailing, this is the boat for you, and it's an amazing price point. She is number one, hot, 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 a Tartan 33. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.